Hello there, boys and girls, those who bounce in between. It's been a while since I made a new video. Real life has sort of gotten in the way. I've been a little bit busy. But something important's happened. There has been a development, ladies and gentlemen. There's been a development. So, a few months ago, I found this individual named Fat Controller on Twitter, and they were pushing out the standard bullshit that communists and Nazis are the same, and I retorted, and he didn't like my retort. He gave me a link to his blog, and I clicked on it. Now, in the past videos I've made about this individual, you'll find them in the description, you'll see I go to this guy's blog, and I take a look. And I can only equate it with a Lovecraft novel, when someone gazes into a horror from another world, and their mind can't possibly understand what it is they're looking at, this great and terrible thing. That was my exact thought looking at this person's blog. It was nothing short of disturbing. It was a bunch of conspiracy theories. You know, the most obvious one, that coronavirus is fake and made by Bill Gates. But just all kinds of stuff about the occult, about mind control, and about me. He had a whole section dedicated to me, which was creepy in and of itself. So I told this person, and I made the mistake of telling them, hey, it's obvious that you have some kind of mental condition. You know, whether it's schizophrenia or what, I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I can't make that call. But I can make the call to not respond to you, not comment to you. Basically, don't pay any attention to you, because I don't want to be in the business of mocking the mentally disabled. That's not what I'm about. That's not what this channel's about. All right? And I count myself amongst the mentally ill. And yet you don't see me going around mocking mentally disabled people. I'm not in the business of doing that. And so for months now, I've had no interactions with Fat Controller. Ever since I pretty much came to that conclusion, I've had no comments, nothing. But that has not stopped this person for months now, almost every day, leaving comments on all of my videos, on my backlog, on my current videos, and it's all stuff like this, just these giant blocks of comments. He says here that I am censoring him. You know, that he is being censored. He says here, Dankey King has started censoring my post as he is losing the fight. So it goes with every communist venture. Remember Stalin and his censorship of photos? Remember the censorship of the Soviet Socialist Encyclopedia's post-production. Never mind. I will move to Twitter and let all your commie friends know about your Holocaust and Gulag denial. So first of all, I mean, the guy needs to open his ears a little bit and hear this. I have never denied the Holocaust. I've never denied the gulags. I don't deny that those things existed, right? And when it comes to the Holocaust, how dare you? How dare you equate me with a Holocaust-denying Nazi? The fact that you continue to do that shows that you don't really understand what fascism is or what communism is. You don't understand anything, Fat Controller, except for maybe your creepy occult obsession with Roman goddesses. So, you know, he's figured out my name. Ladies and gentlemen, he has doxed me. Fat Controller, he's a hacker of untold renown. I can't possibly begin to comprehend how good his hacking skills are, that he managed to find out my real name, which is totally my real name. It's the name on my birth certificate. My parents gave me this name, Chancre Franga. He says, face it, Chancre Franga, your efforts have done more to impugn your own foul political system than you have my name. Well, first of all, Fat Controller, no one would know who you were if it wasn't for me covering you on my channel. I mean, let's just for shits and giggles, you have 8 subscribers. You have like less than 100 views on every single one of your videos. Oh, okay, I'm wrong. You've got 192 on this one. Plandemic predicted in the 2003 episode of Dead Zone TV series. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. You've also made several videos dedicated just to me, where you'll take voice clips from me, like 5-second voice clips, and you'll play them on a loop while you have clips from like World War II going in the background, with 1984 music in the background too. It doesn't make any sense. I saw your obsessive nature, your conspiratorial nature, and I made a judgment call. My judgment is that you are not altogether mentally there, and I was going to try my best to stay away from you. You know, but that didn't happen. And it's not because of me, it's because of you. So I noticed a little something in my comments section today, and there's a channel, Dankey Kang, going to my backlog, you know, leaving links to a blog, which is something that I've never done before. I've never started a blog. So I click on this blog, and this is what pops up. So first of all, you have this fake Dankey Kang channel with a whopping 0 subscribers and no content at all. So yeah, congratulations, Fat Controller. This is truly an expert strategy. I mean, you're really fighting the fight against communism right here. I've got 1,600 subscribers, and you have dedicated what is probably now dozens of hours onto stalking me online, making fake channels, talking about me on your blog, whining about me on your blog, saying that I hate the mentally disabled, that I bully the mentally disabled, all this crap that's not true. You know, for the record, let me clarify, I have nothing but love for the physically and mentally disabled of the world. The socialist revolution is one that is fighting to build a society in which they can live as equals and not exploited like under capitalism. Capitalism is the system that exploits the disabled. Capitalism is the system that casts them aside if they're of no, you know, quote unquote value to the system, and treats them like garbage. Not socialism, my friend. This person is an anarcho-capitalist. Keep that in mind. He wants to live in a society where the free market dictates and controls everything, including who should live and who should die. So keep that in mind when he's trying to point out this notion that I don't like the mentally disabled, or that I want to somehow kill them all, like I'm a eugenicist. Nothing could be further from the truth. Eugenics is a pseudoscience. Eugenics is bullshit, and that's something that Nazis peddle in, not communists. So anyway, this is totally me, totally Chancre Franga. This is my blog here. This is my, you know, totally my profile. It says International Socialist Agitprop from the Stalinist tanky comrade Dankey Kang. Attention comrades. An international socialist call to arms by comrade Dankey Kang. Salutations, comrades. Alright, so first of all, we have, this is apparently a Chinese communist death van. I mean, you can tell by all the blood and guts smeared all over the van. It's, you know, it's a death van. It's not a life van. It's a death van. It says it right here. Chinese communist death van. Can anyone here read Mandarin? Can anyone here read? I mean, I'll translate it for you. It translates directly to Chancre Franga's communist death van / orgy vehicle. That's what it translates to. You can even see me up in the driver's seat if you squint really, really closely. It says, salutations, comrades. Dankey Kang here. A dyed-in-the-wool Tennessean international socialist. I would like to share the wonders of Stalinism and command state socialism with you at the point of a bayonet and at the end of a gun. Yep. This is how I speak, ladies and gents. This is definitely from Dankey Kang right here. This is definitely a Dankey Kang post. Look at this. I even use the term Stalinism. You know, you all know how much I love using the term Stalinism to describe myself. It's a fat controller, come on, dude. Like, if you're going to make this fake blog, which I assume took you several hours to do, maybe even a whole day, at least learn that Stalinism isn't a term used outside of Trotskyists or outside of people who are genuinely ignorant. People like yourself. I mean, you pretty much gave up the ghost here, fat controller. All you need to do now is just put some fucking shit about like Greek or Roman gods or goddesses in here, and we'll know for a fact that it's you. But I mean, this is, you know, maybe you should try to go to the CIA and get a job there, because I mean, your infiltration tactics are just wonderful. It would make the CIA blush with pride. Like Joe Stalin's little brother Mao said, power comes from the point of a gun. Let me share the victories of Chinese socialism with you, whether you want to hear about them or not, because that's the kind of guy I am. I can't get enough of my own voice. That's why I'm a bit of a dictator, just like Joe Stalin and Mao were. So without further ado, may I present the glory of the wonderful Chinese socialist Great Leap Forward. Yeah, I love the sound of my own voice. I masturbate to it, in fact. Only that's not true. That's not true at all. I hate the sound of my own voice. I can't stand hearing myself. The only reason I rewatch my content in the first place is just so I can like proofread it or proof watch it. But I hate hearing my own voice. So congratulations, fat controller. You're wrong about yet again another fucking thing. Oh my god. You can read it here. I'll give a link to all of this in the description so you can check it out yourself. It's just all this shit about fucking China and how the Great Leap Forward wasn't good. Congratulations. Literally every single Marxist-Leninist you talk about now says that. The Great Leap Forward was not a good idea. It didn't turn out good. So, you know, congratulations. You're really not telling us anything that we haven't heard before. So, it goes on to say, in 1950s, the newly established Chinese communist regime decided that Tibet must become a permanent part of the PRC and launched an invasion. For China, possessing Tibet gave access to rich natural resources and allowed it to militarize the strategically important border with India. Since that time, over 1.2 million out of 6 Tibetans, 1.2 million out of 6, I guess he means 6 million Tibetans have been killed, over 6,000 monasteries have been destroyed, and thousands of Tibetans have been imprisoned. Now let's talk about Tibet real quick. Now before the Chinese Revolution came along, Tibet was a backwards country. They were a theocratic feudal society where the vast majority of people lived in untold squalor, untold poverty. They were illiterate. They had no prospects in life to improve themselves. They had no access to education. They lived a short life full of ignorance, fear, and hard labor. And for the few in Tibetan society that enjoyed the fruits of this labor, the lamas, they were living like kings. They were living like gods on earth, being served by an entire population that was essentially slaves to them. where every third male child born into a family had to be given to the monasteries. So yeah, forgive me for saying that when the Chinese came in and liberated Tibet, that was a good thing. And it was a liberation. The people of Tibet were liberated. Liberated from poverty, liberated from ignorance, and liberated from religious oppression. So yeah, you know, thanks for making socialism look good, Fat Controller. Never trust a socialist. These gifs are great. Oh, here we go. This is how you know it's me, ladies and gentlemen, by my obsession with 1984. This is clearly not a Fat Controller blog in any way, shape, or form. You know, the guy who is just absolutely obsessed with George Orwell's 1984, he actually thinks it happened. That's the sad thing is. Alright, I think this person might have read... Yeah, here's me again, a Stalinist apologist, once again using the term Stalinist to describe me. Who do we think made this blog, I wonder? So yeah, this is what he does. He has made all of these videos about me where he takes like a 5-second loop of a voice clip from me, basically insulting him, and he will play that on repeat over footage of... This is Al Jazeera footage, old World War II footage, and this entire time he's splicing in things about how 1984, the George Orwell political fiction book, is somehow real. Which, you know, little side note about George Orwell, the guy was reactionary as fuck, he was paid by the CIA, he's essentially a shitbird, so it only makes sense that Fat Controller loves him so much. Oh yeah, apparently he thinks that I'm in love with someone. He says, young commie's in love. And he says, the 21-year-old know-nothing honey trap, that red fascist commissar Dankey Kang, has obviously fallen for interests newly introduced to Cthulhu, yawn, and command economy of mass murder. Response from anarchism. This was a real comment. It sounds like it was machine generated or something. But he's talking about this subscriber of mine, Apostle O Azathoth, which, you know, they were just making a joke. I said something in my video about this guy, Fat Controller, obviously has a crush on me. Because obviously he does. I mean, holy shit, dude. Why don't you just send me a dick pic already? There are tons of people who are wanting to ride the Dankey train. And I understand that. I can respect that. But if you want to be my lover, you gotta get in line, Fat Controller. Because Apostle Azathoth gets the first pick here. So, you know, I said something about this guy, Fat Controller, has a crush on me. And she said, having a crush on Dankey, can you blame him, though? And I love that comment because, you know, obviously. And so he is basically saying the death-loving bootlickers in love with Commissar Dankey Kang, this 21-year-old know-nothing socialist girl, is a stooge on Dankey's show. Ah, young commie love. So first of all, I don't know if Apostle of Azathoth is a girl or not. But I mean, if so, I'm flattered. Basically, this is why I made my channel. So I could get girls. You know, it wasn't to provide political commentary, nothing like that. It's so I could find a communist girlfriend. That's why. But let's keep going. It says, suffice to say, Dankey Kang is a bit of an asshole who supports despotic regimes. I mean, that's true. I support the most despotic regimes. He calls himself a socialist but has a credit card, a driver's license, and a mobile phone. Holy shit, dude. This is like that meme where the guy's like, and yet you live in a society. I'm very smart. He's very comfortable, yet he puts forward a bullshit view of being a worker of the proletariat. In fact, he's a middle-class piece of shit. He also hates the differently abled. Okay, so let's talk about this. Is the middle class the working class? The answer is yes. Okay, if you're working for a wage, if you don't own the means of production, you're working class. That's just how it is. Now, proletariat carries a specific connotation of being an industrial worker. And if that's your definition, if you want to restrict it to being strictly an industrial worker, well then you're right. I'm not an industrial worker. Okay? But most jobs in this country have transitioned to the service industry. And so you'll see a lot of people, especially these days and age, this day and age, be dubbed as essential workers. These are grocery store owners, factory and warehouse workers, etc. Essential workers. These are the working class. And yes, I most certainly count myself among them. You can be middle class and still be in the working class. In fact, there's no way you can't be middle class and still be in the working class. Most middle class people in this country, Fat Controller, I don't know if you know this, but they live paycheck to paycheck. Most of them, if they were faced with a serious medical emergency, would be denied coverage by their insurance provider and be forced into medical bankruptcy. So, yeah, the middle class, we're very, very sheltered here. Very sheltered. We have absolutely no problems whatsoever. As far as me hating the differently abled, that couldn't be further from the truth, my friend. I love the differently abled. Whether you're mentally or physically disabled, I want to turn this into a society that values the life of the differently abled equally to the life of an able-bodied person. That's why I'm a socialist and not a capitalist, because the economy that you support, Fat Controller, is a capitalist economy. You are an anarcho-capitalist. You think that the free market should have total power over the entire scope of society. And so what happens when that free market decides that some people are worthy of living and others aren't? You know, the hypocrisy with this. You say that I hate the differently abled. Well, you are supporting a system that actually does hate the differently abled. So who's more of a shitbird here, Fat Controller? Who actually cares more about the differently abled? Me or you? I have a feeling it's me. Because the politics that I support are politics which will liberate them from oppression. Say, how can you claim to be a follower of Marx and hate the weakest members of society? Well, that's easy. I don't hate the weakest members of society. So congratulations, you played yourself. Unless, and you go on to say, unless that is what Marx was all about. Is there no room for the differently abled in the worker state? There absolutely is. I don't know where you're getting this shit from. Probably the same place you figured out what my name was. Supposedly, so if we're to listen to Dankey Kang, rather Marx advocated from each according to his ability to each according to his needs, which is a slogan popularized by Karl Marx in the Critique of the Gothic program. The conclusion is that Dankey is a bad socialist. He's a backslider to capital, if he ever left, and puts on a disguise of socialism to pick up young social... Oh, so I'm also a pedophile too. He puts up his disguise of socialism to pick up young socialist women ages 16 to 17, which seems to be his aim. He is a pedophile, just like the Politburo's Beria, who like to beat and rape children. Alright? Fuck you, Fat Controller, for comparing me to this piece of shit. And fuck you for calling me a pedophile. Now, it's true. Alright, he does have a point. The only reason that I started this channel, ladies and gentlemen, wasn't to talk about socialism. It wasn't to talk about communism or anything like that. It was to pick up young communist women. Which, you know, are not underage. He says 16 to 17. I don't like women that young. Okay? 18 is definitely like the youngest I will go, and even then it's a big like caveat. I would like a girl that I go out with to at least be of drinking age, you know, like 21 or something like that. I'm 26 right now, so I would like her to be like around my age, but yeah, certainly not 16 or 17. So Like, what did I do to you, Fat Controller? What did I what did I fucking do? Like, is it because I pointed out the fact that you're obviously mentally ill? I mean, you got so butthurt about that. Is just pointing out the obvious. Like, if you're proud to be mentally disabled, then you shouldn't recoil and get so offended when I point that out. It's not like I called you a name. It's not like I called you a slur. I just pointed out something that was obvious. So, I mean, you saying that I'm a pedophile, that I'm a Holocaust denier, that I hate the disabled, this is all just an attack on me. And honestly, I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did to deserve it. I like to think that I've been nothing but a friend to you, Fat Controller. I don't know why you doxed me. I don't know how you figured out what my name was. But, you know, now the whole world knows that my name is Chancre Franga. So you've really, you know, you've ruined my career prospects now. Because now every time I go to apply for a job, they'll say, "Oh, you're Chancre Franga. I've heard about you. Fat Controller put out on his blog that you hated the disabled and that you're a pedophile." So, yeah, I mean, congratulations, Fat Controller. You doxed me. You got me by the balls, friend. You know, my dad, Chancre Franga Sr., he's going to be very upset when... he's going to be very upset when he hears about this. You know, I don't know what to tell him. Saying, "Sorry, Dad, this guy on the internet fucking found me, and now the Franga family name is forever besmirched by this random internet anarcho-capitalist." Now the Franga family name will be forever dishonored. I will have to be driven off in a Chinese communist death van and taken to the gulags, which, according to me, didn't exist, and summarily executed for my crimes against the state. And you know, thank you, Fat Controller. Thank you, Fat Controller, for showing the world what Chancre Franga really thinks and how Chancre Franga really believes. According to this blog, you have it in proof here. This is court admissible, ladies and gentlemen. This is court admissible documents right here. This will prove in a court of law that I am, in fact, not a real socialist, because, you know, I have a phone, I have a driver's license. He's wrong about this. I don't have a credit card. I have a debit card. I don't have a credit card. So you're wrong. Again. But, yeah, I mean, how dare I participate in capitalist society while being a socialist? It's almost like I want to change the society that I'm in. What a concept. And apparently I'm also a pedophile. So that's you know, that's new to me. I didn't know that I was a pedophile, but if I am, I should fit right into the anarcho-capitalist community that Fat Controller is a part of, because they love pedophiles. Ancaps and pedophilia goes together like peanut butter and jelly. Because after all, the age of consent, that's just a statist concept. That's part of big government trying to oppress you by saying that you can't have child sex slaves. So anyway, it's been great. This is totally me, totally a blog that was made by me. It wasn't made by Fat Controller at all. Everyone go out there, subscribe to Fat Controller, support his videos, support the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, support the truth. Don't believe in Chancre Franga. Don't believe in Chancre Franga's communist propaganda, because I am a dictator. I want us all to live in a society where it's just eugenics all the time. Anyone who is unworthy will be killed and executed, and their organs will be recycled into a precious life-sustaining goo for the rest of the populace to drink. That is socialism. That is the Chancre Franga vision. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching. God bless. And I will give a link in the description to a mental health hotline, because it's obvious. I know at least one person who's watching this video right now who will probably definitely need it.